a missionary in India for 4 months a couple years ago. And she said when she went into Delhi, the smell was so overwhelming. Just trash and all sorts of things. But there are some beautiful parts of India as well. And the people, I think, are the most beautiful, if I do say so myself. So we're going to welcome Bob DeCoteau. He's going to take us on a trip down the Ganges River, and you'll all get to experience India in 45 minutes? 50?
50.
All right, well, let's give Bob a big welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being back again. And for those people, all right, who this is your first time here, my name is Bob DeCoteau, a former school teacher from Shrewsbury High School, a geography teacher, 34 years, so to speak, and I've been traveling around the world, all right, since I did my first trip overseas, not first trip overseas, I was in the Navy, so I did a few of them, okay, but first one in an international school in Portugal. I spent a couple of years there, so it hasn't stopped yet, all right, so I just continue on going as far as my health goes. 81 years old, 82, all right, in this coming February. So, that being said, all right, how many people here have gone to India? Hands, I know a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. That's excellent. It surprises me. I didn't think there would be any hands going up. But generally speaking, all right, this is my 5th time to India. And the reason I've gone so much is I just didn't have enough of it. I needed to see more of it. And what has happened during the course of myself growing older, I began to change the mode of travel in which I did. I went to my doctor and I told my doctor, okay, about 10, 15 years ago, that I'm going to have to stop traveling because of this and because of this ailment, because of that. And he says, oh no, you're not. He says, you're going to change the way you travel. And I need the bathroom more like everybody does, you know, all kinds of things like that. So, you know, a train trip is much better, as you will see, okay, it has facilities and in a boat and what have you. So that was what it was all about, and I'm going to take you on this trip to India, life along the Ganges River, all right, and let's take a look at it. And the question is always, why Bob? Why did you go? What was the purpose? Well, the purpose of it, okay, just for travel and travel's sake, but number one, I just wanted to see what life was like on the Ganges River, all right? I've been everywhere else in India, but also you'll see in a second, but I just wanted to, that's number one, not necessarily in that priority. I wanted to see what took place in the holy city of Varanasi. All right, what took place there, get as close as I possibly can, take as many photos as I can, and so forth. So, and then there's an odd reason, all right, why I went. This odd reason was, in a sense, I wanted to promote tourism in India. Because of what the audience here keeps thinking about what it's all about, all right? This poverty, yes. This stink, yes. This stench, yes, all right? But there's also a lot of other things and cultures. So there's no place that I know of that you can stay in an absolute luxury hotel, an Oberoi hotel, a beautiful hotel, you'll see in a second, all right, nice, and then walk out that door and you are 2,000 years back in time. Maybe China, all right, yes. Maybe Iran or Persia? Yes, all right. But India has it all. It has the colors. It has the smells. Yes, all right. But you can do it. So let's take a look, all right? I'm going to read something to you if you don't mind. Hold on just a second. All right. India is spiritual. Chaotic. Beautiful colors. Devastating poverty. River cruise on India's Ganges will expose you to the country's extremes. It's the type of experience that isn't for everyone. But if you have a sense of adventure, and some in this room have, and you are willing to see beyond the surface, the Ganges River cruise should take a place on your travel bucket list. Yes, even at your age, and even at our age, all right, I will be going back to India, okay, myself, not too distant future. I haven't been to Kashmir, and I will be going into Kashmir to take a look at that. So, here we go. I've been, as I said, 4 or 5 times, I can't even remember, 5 times I believe it is. I highly recommend, all right, that if you do go, you don't jump into, all right, something, all right, that is like Calcutta. Don't go there and spend 5 days in Calcutta, all right? You'll turn around and come right home, all right? Go to the places, go to the generic sites like the Taj Mahal. So there is an itinerary that deals with the Golden Triangle where you will see some beautiful sights there. And then maybe the second trip, all right, you can go down to Kerala. Kerala is down in the, along the shores near the southern tip of the peninsula, the backwaters. There's houseboats that go there, and then if you're really, really adventurous, all right, you're going to go up to the national parks in Assam, way up in the national park. Hopefully you'll get a chance to see some tigers in the wild, and well, you'll definitely see, all right, the Indian rhino that is totally different, looks totally different than the African rhino. It looks like it has armor on it. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now, my mode of travel was going there. I usually take Emirates Air, United Arab Emirates, from Boston to Dubai. It takes about, hey, listen, it takes time to get to a place, all right, to travel. It's, you know, if you just want a small ride, go to Springfield, all right? But anyways, it takes 13 hours, all right? I do not fly first class, all right? I usually have a little thing like get in the back of the plane, all right, and stretch out, all right? I know which planes are full, which planes are not full. So if you do enough traveling, all right, you can work the system a little bit. And then it was 13 hours, and from Dubai to Calcutta, and by the way, that is the Hindi name, all right, Calcutta spelled that way, and not with the C. The C, that's the British way of spelling it, Calcutta. And so as we're flying in the airplane, this is on the back, this is the little TV that's on the back of the chair, all right, we go over, and the pilots have to avoid a lot of dangerous places that are out there, as you well know, especially in the Middle East. So it was at a time, all right, when Syria was in full blown, and that actually, believe it or not, the safest place was to go over Iran at the time. All right, so as you can see, we went over Iran, and then we went into Dubai. Now we're going to have a lot because it's Emirates Air, all right, because it is in the United Arab Emirates. A lot of Muslims that are going to be flying back and forth to the United States and back to the city of Dubai. So they still pray 5 times a day, Shias 5 times a day, and Sunnis 5 times a day, the 2 different Arab sects. And so hence, when they're on the plane, they'll be praying to Mecca. They have to know where Mecca is. You have to know. They have to know. You're in the sky, you're turning around all. So they always have this, shown in the back of the seat. And for people who are familiar with the Islamic religion, this is facing, that arrow is facing, all right, to the Kaaba, which is in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. All right, let's take a look, all right, at the Ganges River. Just a small little geography lesson here, not much, but we need to know a little bit about it. The Ganges, all right, is one of the, I should say, it is the 35th longest river in the world, all right. The Nile River is the longest. This one in Ganges is only 1,500 miles, okay, in length. The Nile is 4,000 miles in length, and it services the Ganges of people. There's about 400 million people that will be affected by the water, all right, and that will be affected on the size of the area. I would like to get a little further here, and before I get any further, I would like you to know that the source of the Ganges is up in way up here where Nepal is located. As you can see, in the DeCoteau glacier, big glacier that's melting, and that is the source of the Ganges. And there's many tributaries that are coming in, so to speak. The Ganges will come down, and they'll come to a city, if you can see it, or town, Faraka, and once it gets to Faraka, it'll meet up with the other river that comes down from Tibet called the Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra, my friends. All right. Again, 35th longest river, Ganges. All right. But it is number 3 in the world in terms of the amount of volume of water, that comes into the Bay of Bengal. Amazon number 1, Congo 2, and then the Ganges. The Gangotri Glacier, this is where the Ganges starts. It's not exactly right in this little area here, but it's located all right the way up in the, it is a pilgrimage town. People will come here, stay at these little hotels, and then they will begin to bathe or touch the water or pour water over their head. Now, I don't expect you to believe that I'm an expert in the Hindu religion. Right? Really. So I'm going to simplify it for you, to myself. In other words, how important is this holy river, all right, to the people of India and their religion? Basically the following. What happens, all right, is that the goddess, all right, Ganga, mythology goddess, is supposed to have been born in this river, born here, all right, what have you. And what it does, okay, if you bathe yourself in the Ganges, all right, it facilitates your taking the sins away from you. So the more you bathe, so if you saw a lot of people bathing, all right, on the ghats or the steps, all right, of the Ganges River, they do it every day because it takes away the sins, all right, that you have committed in your lifetime. Everybody here knows that Hindu religion, my friend, is a religion of a circle of life, right? Born, die, reincarnated, come back again, and it's a circle of life. Now, what do they want to achieve, Hindus? They want to break that circle of life. They want to go, all right, to their nirvana, or heaven, or whatever you want to call it. Break that circle, all right, so they don't have to die, all right, in a different body, and come back, okay, and suffer more, So, hence, cleansing the sins. And if you cleanse the sins, all right, that's a good way, okay, of breaking that cycle. And again, if you are buried or your ashes are sprinkled in the Ganges River, all right, you will automatically, all right, go to what they call moksha. Moksha is the breaking of the circle. In other words, you will directly go to your nirvana, or what have you. So that is why the Ganges is so very important, all right, to the Indian people. We'll see more about that. It'll play out as we go along. All right. As I said, the goddess Ganga, place of birth. All right. We're going to start the trip down here. We're going to fly into Calcutta, all right, which is located on the Hooghly River, and we're going to not go up that river. We're going to take a train up the Faraka. See Faraka right here. Then we're going to go upstream, get off the boat at Patna, and then we're going to take a bus and go to Benares. There's the goddess Ganga. See? It's mythology, as I told you before. All right. And this is a kind of a layout from the tour company that I went to let you know. It's about 15 days. So I'll be on the boat and be touring basically for about 13 of those days. All right? I always do a pre-stay and a post-stay. I can't fall asleep on a plane. All right, that was long. You saw the hours that it was going to take us, and I have to regroup, and I have to sleep off almost a half a day, and then I have to also do the same thing, and I have to cool down a little bit, especially from India, because I'm going to a really civilized nation, okay, in a few hours. So that's the route. It's going to be a 4-hour. Hold on just a second. A 4-hour trip by train here. Now, our first stop will be a hotel, which is called the HHI, which stands for Hindustan Hotel International, and it's in Calcutta. There's a doorman there, okay, greeting him. You always got to be friendly with the doorman, all right? You know, they'll take care of you. Calcutta is the 3rd largest city in India. About 15 million people. 15 million people. All right? Second largest city, all right, would be, all right, Delhi. All right, and the third would be what they call Mumbai. Mumbai, better known to our old geography books as Bombay. Thank you, Bombay. Hotel room was nice. This was all inclusive, so you know I didn't know what the hotel room cost, but I did look in the back of the doors, and they have the rack rate on this. This was only about $75 a night. So I mean, I'm telling you, you'll have comfort. You really will have comfort. This is just probably only a 4-star hotel, but if you want a 5-star hotel in luxury, you can get that as well. All right, I didn't come all right to India to sit in the hotel. All right, so off I go the next morning. I get up real early, about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I begin to walk the streets. So I walk the street to see what's going on. People are very friendly. Just looking at her eyes and her body language, she's saying to me, welcome, welcome. Not everybody is that way, all right? In any country, all right? They're not all welcoming, all right, to Americans or to any kind of tourists. Down the street a little bit, we see a picture, okay, of somebody who's a little bit irritated, all right, like so. Now, a long time ago, somebody says, don't forget, Bob, if you're a tourist, all right, don't forget, you've got to ask permission to take their picture. Well, I did that for 1 year, all right, and that was the end of that. Then I became what is known as a photojournalist, all right, after that. And what the difference between the two is that you don't get the spontaneity if you ask permission, can I take that picture? So that's what I was looking for, because I knew I was going to do a lot of presentations that you're going to see, and hence I didn't want just people standing there smiling, okay, at me. And by the way, everything takes place on the street, really, everything. So, I mean, these people are trying to make a living, all right, and he's a Bob. That's it, it's as simple as that. He's a Bob. I walk down the street, I take a look and see what's cooking. All right, a lot of the stuff I can recognize, some of it I can't. It's just, I see some naan, all right, which is bread, and I see rice there. I also see, okay, a few vegetables as well. Oh, by the way, I don't eat off the street until the last 2 days that I'm there, because I need to jump on that plane and get home if something happens. But in the 5 times that I've been to India, I did not get sick once, not one time, not one time. Here I see, okay, some vegetables, lots of vegetables are in meals, even on the street. I see some curry over here. I see some lentil, all right, these are lentil beans, crushed lentil beans. And here's a gentleman that's serving a pretty decent breakfast. I asked him about what it was. He said he's toasting some rolls. And he's got some curry, and then he's going to mix up some scrambled eggs, and he's going to put it in there. I was tempted with that. I was almost tempted. So I backed off, all right, because I had some breakfast at the hotel when I Butter's always out on the street. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this, you can keep butter outside the refrigerator 10 to 15 days, okay, without it going bad. People say, oh, I got to put it in the refrigerator. I got to put it in the refrigerator. Now, as I'm walking down the street, I see this sign, Mother Teresa Sarani. Sarani means Mother Teresa's residence, or place, okay, of where she lives, or lived, so to speak. All right, and I knew it was on Park Street, and I knew exactly what it was, because every time I go to Calcutta, I always go to the orphanage and go to the charity area there. Anyways, Mother Teresa's place is there. I'll give you, I think you've read a little bit about her history, so to speak, and she's passed away, of course. She belongs to the, actually she was born in Skopje. Skopje was a former Yugoslavian city. Now it's the capital city of the Republic of Macedonia, all right? And it was at that time that she was born in 1910, all right, Mother Teresa, and by the way, the people of India call her the Mother the mother. They don't even use the last name. They say, Mother, you want to go see Mother's a house? I said, yes, I would like to go there. And she was born in 1910, and the Ottoman Empire was in control of that area. At the age of 18, she went to Ireland and spent, a few years in Ireland. Mother Teresa learned English. There, that's how she learned English. And then eventually, she took the Spanish spelling of Teresa. Mother Teresa. And she went to India, and she joined the Missionaries of Charity. Missionaries of Charity. Anyways, at her place of where she lived, Mother Teresa, that's in Calcutta, you'll see the blue trimming, of the nunnery. There is a sarcophagus that is right here. I didn't get it all in. I got another picture, but that's where her body lies in state at this time. In that area. They have an orphanage that they take, little babies that they find on the street that have been abandoned, and they take them in there. No photographs can be taken while you're in that area. Mother Teresa, is revered around the world, but she has taken a few bumps and a few punches because of some things that have happened in the past. She got a lot of money from different philanthropists, and they were wondering why she wasn't spending it on building hospitals and things like that. People tell other people what to do with the money. So anyways, it's been tough there. We'll take a look at what her quarters look like. All right, they always have that sign. It says Mother Teresa, Missionaries of Charity, MC, and she is always in. And this is just some gates here, so people won't run up and lay in the bed and all that kind of stuff. And there's a writing table that is there as well. Right there. It's great. But not only does she feed people there, or the missionary, but there's people all outside on the streets. And this is what it looks like. Calcutta, and just about every town and every city in India, all right, you have this poverty that's out there. And people, we're not talking about a person, that's coming from his home. This young boy has no home. He sleeps on the street. All right. He may not even have parents. Right? So he was right outside, the missionary. And so you can see by the dish, it's almost demeaning, it's almost like feeding an animal or a dog or something of that sort, So it's tough. It really is tough. Now, speaking of tough, you're going to see poverty all over the place. You're going to see dirt. You're going to see filth, you got to get off the street. You can't stay on that street, all day long for 3 and 4 hours. You have to get off the street, and you have to get rejuvenated, because you will be very, very depressed. Those people that have gone to India know what I'm talking about. They know they have to fight the depression off. And so, that's what I did here. I actually found a hotel, which is the Grand Oberoi Hotel, and I said, all I need is a cup of tea. That's all. All right? I'll take some medicine, I said to myself. A cup of saneness, all right? And calmness, all right? And I'll have Earl Grey black tea, please, all right? And then, do you have a biscuit, as they say in Great Britain and British colonies? And a biscuit, of course, is a cookie. Yes, we do have sugar biscuits, and that's exactly what I had. And after I consume that, I'm ready to go out in the street for another 4 hours. So you really do have to do that. Right, all right, so once I was in Calcutta for a full day, 2 days, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 days, it's time to take the train to Farakka. Farakka has a barrage. A barrage, you know what a barrage is, don't you? If you don't, a barrage is like a little dam, all right? This is the British term for dam, a barrage. And it diverts the water. Some comes down the Ganges River, portion of it goes down to Calcutta, and another portion goes to Bangladesh. Now, as I'm out there, I'm talking to this gentleman, all right, who's going to take the train, and I know what class he's going to be in. How do I know what class he's going to be in? He's going to be in 2nd or 3rd class. Is because he is carrying with him a tiffin box. And a tiffin box is this thing right here, and it has about 4 or 5 different layers of little cups, all right, or saucers that have food in it. It's not only, okay, in India, but it's all over the world, tiffin boxes. But generally speaking, you see many, many more, all right, in India itself. So he's in 3rd class or 2nd class, and I'm in 1st class because that's what DeCoteau said to go in. By the way, we get the train at Hawa Station in Calcutta, the busiest station in the world. When I say busy, not by train so much as by people passing through. Thousands and thousands of people passing through this in one day. Thousands and thousands in one day. So here we are, all right, in our 1st class, air conditioned, all right, reclining seats. 4 hours to get up to Faraka, and let me see now. Yep, that's what it was. And then somebody came around with these little boxes, and oh, by the way, before we get the little boxes that they came around with, you saw 1st class, this is 2nd class. Look at the air condition they have.
Fans.
All right, fans, that's air conditioning, yeah, sure. All right, the benches, all right, 3 to a bench, they're padded seats. And the 3rd class, all right, is solid wood, all right? People have chickens and cows, not cows, but geese and what have you in those. But it is the cheapest way to travel in India. Very inexpensive, especially taking a sleeper train, or rather than driving a car or getting in a bus and traveling so many miles. So that's the 2nd class. That was in the box. Now, I have no idea, my dear friends, what that is, and I didn't want to know what it was. But lucky I had some breakfast, all right, and I took some fruit with me from the hotel, and lucky I have a darling wife, all right, that packs for me when I travel. What she calls a survival kit. And that's my survival kit, all right? It changes accordingly, okay, to what country I go to. I always take Jiffy peanut butter with me. I take some Carandos pepperoni, because why? They don't spoil, right? They don't go bad on you. I go into Trader Joe's and get some dried, okay, mangoes. I can keep those out without being refrigerated. I didn't have to take, okay, the bread, because we always have bread in the hotel, but sometimes I take some crackers, and sometimes I take, some flat bread. Cookies, and then get, of course, at the end of the day, look at this. All right, little nips, okay, Courvoisier, all right, cognac. Oh man, that is unbelievable. How do I pack it? Those are like plastic, first of all. I take them and I wrap them in each one of my head socks, and I stick them in the front of my shoes. You know, when you pack your shoes, put them all the way. So you got them protected, all right, with the shoe, and you got it protected that way. And plus, they're not carry-on luggage. So nobody pulls them out and say, oh, you can't take this with you, what have you. All right, that's my survival kit, and that keeps me alive. You have the toilets. I'm sorry if I took your pictures to offend you, but that's the toilets. These are Indian toilets, and we're called squat toilets, and you have to squat. In 1st class, one end of the carriage was Indian, like this, and the other one was a sit-down. They both were filthy and dirty, all right, but one was a sit-down, filthy and dirty, all right, as opposed to a squat one. My little story here that I have to tell you very quickly on one of my other trips to India, all right, I tended, all right, to come, go in there with some tongs, shower tongs. And as I looked down, I was doing what I was supposed to do, my business, and as I looked down, I could see the railroad tracks going by in that hole. So I got a little nervous and I jumped back, and lo and behold, one of my tongs went down that sewer, all right? So here I am walking like this, okay, getting back to my seat, trying to get people so they don't notice me, yeah, sure, what have you. Now, I asked somebody, okay, about the cup. So I said, what about the cup? I said to my tour guide. good sense of humor. You gotta admit this. I said, what's it used for? I know now, but I said, what's it used for? He said, well, maybe it's tea while you pee. So, but I know what it's used for, and you can use your imagination, okay, on that. Now, the other thing inside the toilet was the flush. I know a normal flush. I just push that, that's a normal flush. I'm telling you right now, I hated to find out what an emergency flush was. What is an emergency flush? What happens? You get sucked down or something into the hole? So to this day, I still don't know what an emergency flush is. And anybody comes up with that, Google it and let me know, please. All right, we finally get to Faraka, we get off, and now it's time to go to our boat. All right, and here it is, all right. ABN, we're taking, okay, a country boat because you can't come in, it's shallow water. And let's take a look at this. A stands for Assam, Bengal, B, navigation, and it's named after a king in the Assam area, Sukafa. And there it is, and I'll be spending the next 10 to 12 days on this boat here. Now, the crew is waiting for us, and the crew is very polite and very nice and very well trained. All right. And here we are coming in. They have some things to wash our hands with. They have a man who's going to collect the glasses, man with mango juice here, and this man who's going to instruct us to do the following. Please take your shoes off and leave them here. All right? And so we take off our shoes and they're all piled up every which way. All right? I don't know how they do it, but those shoes come back to your cabin outside totally cleaned of all of the cow dung and all of the stuff from the daily trips. They do that every single day when you go out on an excursion and come back in. Clean your shoes. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's see what accommodations we have, all right? How lousy could they be? All right, so there's 12 cabins, all right? It can take up to 24 people, but the average is only about 10 people on these cruises, but it can take up to, all right, twin beds there. I always got a room to myself. I don't know why. Well, maybe because I'm old, 81 years old, no young kid traveling that wants to be with me. So anyhow, all right, I get a room by myself. Well, maybe I give the guy a few bucks, I don't know, to get the room for, who knows. You get it, and I put my clothes on one bed, and then I sleep on the other bed. All right, let's take a look. Now, if you want a little bit more comfort and a little bit more view, you got a double bed if you want. I bet you can. There's two rooms or two cabins that have double beds. The rest of them have, all right, twin beds. Now, this is what was told to me, so I want to make sure you understand this. And they said, we filter the Ganges River. And they say that the filter water sometimes, okay, going through a filter like the filter that you have at home, is sometimes better than the bottled water, because you don't know where the bottled water came from, okay? It could be people. So, what do? We use filtered water for the following things. For shaving. You don't drink the shaving water, right? I don't think anybody here, right? We use it for flushing the toilet, all right, the filtered water. And then we use it to take the shower. All right. And the brushing your teeth and drinking, obviously, is bottled water. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, come on, Bob. You're going too fast for these people. All right, here is the shower. All right, pretty nice though, huh? Would you say? You could do that, couldn't you? You could handle that. Yeah. All right, sure. All right. Now remember, all right. And this boat does not go at nighttime. They're not allowed to travel at nighttime, so they have to anchor it. The water of the Ganges, ready for this one? Even though it looks dirty, it is dirty, okay, but it's dirty with a lot of silt. But the water from the Ganges is only about 10 to 15 feet deep. Really. I thought it would be like the Mississippi. I thought I would see these tanker ships going up there, okay, with containers in them. Not one single one. It's very, very shallow. All right, here we go. Now, this room is upstairs, and it's a lounge, and it's a reading room. It's where the Wi-Fi is. And then over here, this far little corner over here, they have a cash bar. Cash bar. You can buy alcoholic beverages to have. And one of the provinces that we went through was called Bihar, B-I-H-A-R. And I didn't realize, okay, that the only province in India that forbids the selling and drinking of alcohol, all right? But finally somebody told me, all right, and I made sure I stocked up a little bit on that. They didn't enforce it that much. All right, so this is inside. These are all air conditioned out here. Breakfast is served in this area. All right, you could eat breakfast to order. I always told the cook, and I took care of him at the end of the tour. All right, I always said I want a bowl of rice at every one of my meals, and I want soup, okay, at every one of my meals, and so that in case I had an upset stomach and I had rice and I had soup, okay, that I could mix up with it, eggs, scrambled eggs, and things of this type. And this is the upper deck that is used just to hang out and you know, and do some reading, all right, and enjoy the scenery there. And this is me, all right, and one of the things I like about taking the boat is that I don't have to go on every one of the tours, all right, excursion. Bob, we're going out to go see this, so are you coming with us? No, I'm staying on the boat, all right, for the afternoon, all right? And so most of the time, okay, I would take a little bit of time off, okay, just to write in my journal, all right, and to maybe do some, send some emails or get them ready to send home. Again, having a cup of tea and a biscuit, and if it was nighttime or afternoon time, I'd be drinking cognac at that time. I also am inquisitive. I want to learn. And I spend a lot of time, okay, with the captain of the boat. This man right here, all right, he's a pilot, but this man is more important than this man. This guy's the navigator. He looks outside and tells the captain where he has to go, all right, and he does it by the shade and the color of the water. That's what he does, all right? Even though we do have an instrument right in front of the wheel there that it tells you the depth, what have you, but the depth is very, very shallow. As we go along, okay, we take a look and we can now begin to see, all right, what it looks like along the shores and areas. You see dwellings. You see dwellings. Very few tourists have come to this area. Now this dwelling, okay, looks like it's relatively permanent. This man does not own this land, all right? The reason he doesn't own it is because the land may not be there the next year because of the monsoons and the flooding. They'll be washed right away. So he doesn't keep it too permanent. What have you. All the kids, okay, are saying hello, all right, as we come by. They all got smiles on their faces. I try to make them laugh. You say, Bob, what do you do to make them laugh? I get on the deck and I start dancing or doing some crazy thing in there. They all start laughing and they said, oh, that must be an American. I say, and I got a little sign that says, no, I'm French, all right? I'm from France. So these are the kids that will be living in that area, all right? This guy showing off his sculptured body for the boat as it comes by, all right, as you can see, all right? He doesn't look too pleased, but check out the banks. Look, those are all coming down. As soon any ship or any boat that goes up there, all right, is going to scoop that away, and that's fertile soil. That's going to turn the Ganges brown. Okay, so it's not so much that it's filth, okay, but it's fertile soil, all right, that will wash over, and the farmers need that fertile soil, and they need to get the flooding, all right, in the spring during and maybe during the late monsoon season. Now, here we are coming relatively close to the shore, and again, that navigator is taking us there. And you might say, well, it should be shallow. No, in some cases, it's deeper. All right, it's deeper there because it's on a bend. All right, and that bend, okay, has taken, okay, a lot of the silt, all right, and brought it into the middle of the Ganges River. It's really pretty though. in a sense. I don't know if you can see the charm of it and brilliance. We got people who are washing clothes here, one way up here. Here we are. This is one of my favorite pictures. I love this one, all right? Going up this street. Here's another gentleman, all right? Yeah. And he's very hospitable, waving to us, right? I didn't see anybody on this journey that was extremely angry at me, except maybe that barber who was shaving that guy's face. But generally speaking, all right, everybody was, because remember, they don't see as many tourists. And I get a closer view, okay, of what the sides look like. Fishermen, these are Chinese fishing nets. And they'd be catching fish. And sometimes we would stop and they sent us small, and they would come out, swim out with a bucket of fish and stuff like this, and some of that would be, you know, we'd have as an entree or maybe an appetizer, the fish, all right, at a dinner. Yep. Now, this is some of the filth that you will see a lot. Yeah, you people who've been there, you know what I'm talking about, okay? And you'll see things like this, a cow floating down the Ganges River, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll also see, not very often, but you might see, and I'm not going to show you a picture of this, but you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll see bodies coming down the Ganges. People, okay, who cannot afford the cremation, because, and it only costs, I say only, but it's $1,000, okay, for the wood and for everything, or for a funeral. But the poor people, all right, they don't have that money, so they just throw the whole body in the river. And then the wild dogs come out, pack of dogs, and things of this sort. All right. It's not uncommon to see ashes and part of a body today in Varanasi, all right, out there, all right, part of a body, and a young teenager holding up a cell phone, all right, who's a relative of that person that's in that water, taking a selfie. Culture, remember now, culture. Culture. Sometimes whole towns come out to say hi. Hey Bobby, how you doing? Sure. Right. And I think the people who've read some books and know what I'm talking about when I make reference to a GATS, G-H-A-T-S, GATS, these are steps. These are steps. All major towns and cities have these on the shore so that people can walk down and take a swim there for the reasons I told you earlier about the sins. And this little boy, okay, is washing, all right, his mother's tinware in the river. But the colors and the photography, all right, is just breathtaking, all right, especially when the sun is nice and low, all right, and people, okay, pay other people to take them across the river because there's no big bridges that go across, and there's no ferry service, okay, because they're only small little towns on one side to the other. Look at that. I mean, the sun is setting, and these people are going to another town across. Because of the current, they have to start way up high on their side, and then they come down to make sure they hit, all right? Because they're not motor driven, I don't believe, or maybe they are, all right? I can't see that, but they're going over to buy supplies and what have you. Following our boat, the one that we're staying in, all right, there is another one that we have in the back. It's called a country boat. And that country boat is the boat that takes us from the large boat of 12 cabins, all right, to the shore, right? And it has life jackets in it, and it has bottled water, so everybody knows what this, you know, they grab a bottle of water. We'll see that in a second. And here you see, okay, the country boat getting in there, and then you can see right here all the four-wheel drive, all right, Range Rovers and things that will take us on an excursion. Excursions are usually, we come back, we have breakfast in the morning, we always come back for lunch, and we always come back for dinner. So we have like a 3-hour tours, have lunch, they tell us to take a nap, and then maybe around 4 o'clock or something like that, they'll go out for a short trip in the town, and then they'll come back and have dinner. And that's what the country boat looks like. And see, there's no railings. The railings are up here. 2 guys hold bamboo. They hold the bamboo. One guy holds the bamboo, okay, up at the top. Another guy holds the bamboo on the bottom, and that's your railing, you know. I got it, I made it, all right? Anyhow, or I shouldn't say that because you know, we have some elderly people, okay, that have gone on trips with, that I've seen, and they've done the best they could, all right. And if you can't make it down the ramp, they'll pick you up and carry you all the way down. They will. That's the kind of service you get. And here we are, okay, bathing, and then the draft animals, the water buffalo, the draft animals that work in the rice paddies are out there. Look, it's hot, it's burning up, and they respect it. The life, all kinds of life. So they're going to take them in and bring them in the water to cool off. And so we kind of get in there with the boat, and we had some trouble squeezing in there because it was like noontime, and they were in there. And they're there, right? They're doing all the farm work. These are water buffalo. Not Cape buffalo, not the Cape buffalo that you'll see, okay, down in South Africa. These are water buffalo. And it looks like I'm crowding their space out a little bit here, all right? So I better get out of there quick, all right, get my photograph taken, and then get out of there because they didn't look too happy about it. Now, we're going to go in, all right, as we go in, I'm only going to give you one excursion to see a silk production area. And after a rainstorm, and the roads are all terrible going from one place to the other. And look at my friends, they're so narrow, okay, all right, they almost touch each other. Somebody said to me, I asked somebody, I said, which one has the right of way on a situation like this? And they said, the oldest car. Because they don't care whether they get banged up, so they have the right of way, all right? The oldest one, okay, so the one on the right here has the right of way. Now we're going to see some people who live in this little village that make silk, all right, silk, for saris. You know what sari is? Sari is you all know that. It's a 9 yards of fabric that is thrown around. All right, now we'll get some nice photos here. I meet some of the nice little kids there, talk with them. All right, some of them know a little bit of English. This little one right here is mesmerized by me. I mean, he is just absolutely mesmerized. All right. This picture of this girl, okay, she followed me around everywhere I went. She just wouldn't leave me, you know. So that was okay. Somebody saw that picture. Somebody said, "Bob, what did you ever do to make all those kids laugh like that?" All right. I mean, to me, to put a smile on somebody's face like that it makes my whole day. I can't remember what I said or what I did, but they're all laughing, okay. And the one with his hand over his mouth looks like I did something naughty or something like that, you know. So, but I don't know. All right, and they were just lovely, okay, to be with and to talk to. Here you see the malnutrition setting in. You see the malnutrition, all right? The hair will turn white soon, or in a white color, and this child will not live, okay, and won't make it to age 3, all right? I don't know what the ages are right now. Sometimes you capture an emotion. Sometimes you capture somebody who's in deep thought, all right? And that's a plus. I love that. That's one of the reasons I don't ask for permission, okay? What is she thinking? What is she thinking? Why you and not me? Why I have to live this way? Why can't I be? I don't know. There's a million answers to that question. There's a million answers to that question. This is a cottage industry. They're making silk from the the silk, okay, the looms, I should say, the fabric from the silk, and look at the machinery. All right, if people have done any reading, you'll know that this goes all the way back to maybe 100 years, this machinery, all right, when the British were in control, all right, of all of India. Really old. Right. They get $3 a day. That's what they get, all right, for working 8 hours or so. Everything's done in their home, apartment or home. This man asked me to take his picture. He said, please take my picture, all right? So I took his picture. India, in other countries around the world, you will see more people walking the streets with deformities. And the reason for that is that they just don't have the money to bring the child to the hospital to have them corrected, all right, what have you. So you'll see people who have difficulty walking, all right, and you know what I'm talking about when I say deformities. All silk is white, of course, and when you want to color, you have to dye it, and this is the silk being dyed. And these are some of the old looms I point out to you. Be careful when you go to India, a country that has Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Those, okay, religions have symbols that are not what you think of, all right? It looks like a Nazi, okay, swastika, but those are all over the houses in the countryside. Those are good luck, okay, symbols, good luck symbols there. So, it's got nothing to do with World War II or anything like that. This woman has a good job. She's taking cow dung and she's slapping it up against the wall so it'll dry. And once it dries, okay, she'll chop it off and bring it inside for heating, okay, cooking in the stove. Cow dung, all right, manure, all right, it has to be dried, and that's what she's doing there. I'm ready to get back and take a hot shower. I really, okay, that was just day number 1, all right, so I'm telling the people, let's go, and I'm pulling, okay, Titanic thing, okay, on this, but let's go, let's move it, let's get back. I need to get some the cognac and something to eat and what have you. So that's how far. So it's only a short distance. It only took us maybe 4 minutes to get into the shore. That's all. But as we're going across, this boat looks like it's in the water. It looks heavy, and I come to find out it's carrying sand. And you say, well, why would they carry sand? Well, it goes to a place, okay, that dredges and puts sand in there, and then they take it to a place to make sandbags, all right? And those sandbags are put along the levees to keep the water, okay, from, not keep it from flooding, but keep it away from some of the agricultural fields, all right, what have you. The government does that when they feel like it, when they feel like it. Now, here it is. I think I'm the furthest distance from nowhere. I said, oh my God, there's nobody around here. And sure enough, I see 2 kids taking my picture with a cell phone. Look. Okay, so you never know. You never know, okay, just, hello? You never know where technology, okay, will bring you to. Manual labor along the shores. Everything is done manual labor. Again, Bobby's up there. Bobby must be up there dancing, all right, or doing something, because they're laughing at me, all right? But I still got him to smile. Got him to smile. The colors are gorgeous. The colors are like out of this world. Now, in case you don't know, we took the journey already, and we're up to Patna. And from Patna, we will change our mode of transportation. We will get off the boat and get in a air-conditioned bus. And from there, Patna, we will go to Bodh Gaya and then travel up by bus to Varanasi. When we get to Patna, one of the nicest sights to see, okay, is the great Sikh temple of Patna. I don't know if you're familiar with Sikh religion. The Sikh religion, all right, was started in the 15th century, 1699, by a gentleman known as the Guru Gobind Singh was the founder, all right, in 1699. That's why all Sikhs, the turbans, all Sikhs have the last name Singh. They take in the name, okay, of the founder. Taking the name of the founder. Only 2% of the Indian population are Sikhs. All right. Most of them are Hindus, Muslims, right, and Christians. Sikhism started in the Punjab area, close to Pakistan. That area there. You go in there, first thing you do is that you have to take off your shoes, barefooted, and then you have to cover your head. If you don't have a hat, you got to find a handkerchief, or you got to find something to cover your head. That's all you're gonna have. Now, how can you tell a Sikh in India? I don't know about in the United States, but they have the 5 Ks. All right, the 5 Ks. These words, okay, are in a Punjabi language, so don't worry about them, but I'll explain them to you. Okay, every Sikh male has a steel bracelet, all right, around his right wrist. He has a long uncut hair. He has a wooden comb, all right. He has a dagger that you see over here, and he also has, okay, cotton underwear, cotton undergarments, no elastic, but ties down in that area. So they kind of take on the look, all right, of the founder, so to speak. So I just wanted to point that out. This is, okay, a closer view, okay, of the comb, dagger, and the steel bracelet. And I met these three people, the gentleman, all right. He wears blue because it stands for warrior. Stands for warrior, all right. And the woman, okay, are always besides the men. In this building over here, I was quite surprised, okay, what I saw. But it was I don't know why, it sunk in pretty good. It's called the Sikh Langar, and it's a 24/7. 24/7. It's like a soup kitchen. Anybody that wants food, all right, can get food, all right, in this kitchen. As a matter of fact, there is a Sikh temple, all right, that is located, all right, down, okay, in the Northborough area. As you go up 495, you know 495 when you get off the Mass Pike, 495? Get off the Mass Pike at 495, and you see all those, what do you call them, the electrical, solar panels that are on the right-hand side. Look in that direction. On the top of the hill, you'll see a gold dome, and that's a Sikh temple. Go up there and visit it, and you will find that they're very hospitable. All right, I'm going to be moving a little quicker, all right, because we had a little time that we had to. I met one of these gentlemen. The Sikhs and a lot of people in India are very kind to the elderly people. I mean, especially this gentleman right here. I mean, I was waiting in line to go to the bathroom in here, and this gentleman right here with the white turban on here came to me and walked me right up to the front. Right up to, would you see that here? No. But that's the way it is. 2 different cultures. All right. Saffron, a lot of saffron, okay. All right, turbans. Now, Bodh Gaya, all right, is something different now. We leave the place, okay, where the Sikhs are, and we go to a place where Buddha spent some time, all right? And it's called Bodh Gaya, and Buddha was during the 3rd and 4th century BC. He was a prince from Nepal, as you all know, all right? And this temple to Buddha, 2 temples to Buddha, were built in the 1st century AD. They were all covered with grass and shrub and everything, okay, underground. And this British archaeologist in 1883 uncovered them. All right, so this is what it looked like in 1883, this Buddhist temple. And this is what it looks like now. So go back, so you see the two there, and then one more. Now, why is this so important to the Buddhist religion? All right. It's when Buddha, all right, said he wanted to travel, and he went to India, and this is where he sat underneath the bo tree, and got his enlightenment. All right, so it's very, very important to Buddhists here, all right, that are living in this area. There is an offshoot, okay, of the Bo tree. The Prince Siddhartha of royalty, the Gautama, is the Buddha. All right, and it was nice to visit this place. Monks, you'll see monks, okay, that'll be praying around those temples. And this was a little surprising. The security was extremely, extremely difficult there. And what happened in 2013 was 12 bombs were placed in this complex. And they all went off. Surprisingly, nobody was seriously injured and killed. And the Muslim, the Muslim, okay, Rohingyas, okay, from Burma, took credit for it in Burma. They said that they were responsible. 2013. Oh, it's a nice picture. I like this. It came out nice. Pilgrim. And now we come to Varanasi. Okay. All right. This is what it looks like from the water. There's 84 ghats. I got some people in this room, okay, that visited the area. And I said, oh my goodness, so we're going to have to stay in one of these buildings, okay? Am I going to have to stay in this hotel? All right? And my tour guide said, no, Bobby, you don't stay in those hotels, you know. All right? So we stayed at the Ramada Inn, right, which is not too far. So if you think you're going to be living in that filth and dirt, okay, just because it looks that way, that's not the case. Because you got a little money, you can afford to buy. This room, by the way, was $90. All right, so we stayed there. All right, only one night. All right, the room was pretty plush. We had a little barbecue. All right, we had a little barbecue dinner, and that night we went down to the river to see the daily celebration. They give thanks to the river. They do it every day. People know what I'm talking about who have been there. All right, and then we said, all right, I want to see the cremation. And they said, well, you're going to have to go early in the morning, the next morning. So we're going to do that. And so we get up at 5, and I start walking down. We're almost through here. And I walk down. We walk down to the ghats down there, one of the ghats that does the cremation. All right, and there was supposed to be two young boys that were going to row us in a rowboat out on the water. And the sun was going to sunrise. The sun was going to be on our back, so we would get better pictures, okay, coming in. Well, come to find out, one of the boys didn't show up. Guess who gets voted to do the rowing, okay? The 81-year-old guy, all right? So the other guys, people were just watching, laughing. So we row out early in the morning, and things began to wake up, all right, about 7, 8 o'clock, you know, and everybody comes down for their little wash and their swim, all right, what have you. Some people even bring picnic tables and bring their breakfast down and what have you. This was interesting, this other picture here. All life is very important to Hindus, all life, because of the reincarnation, all right. Who is that? Maybe a stray dog, maybe your uncle, all right, in reincarnation. So they take care of the dogs, okay? And here they are putting out bowls of rice every morning, all right, for the stray dogs that are there. Yeah, another picture, okay, all right, of the bathing. All right, remember, taking their sins away. The oldest son, is responsible for taking the body and preparing it for the fire. He's already purchased the wood. The wood goes for something like maybe $400 or $500. That's about 3 cords of wood, right? And they get the kerosene, and they got also a large amount of cow dung, all right, to keep it going. And they have to be very, very careful. They have to use a stretcher made out of bamboo. It's part of the tradition, stretcher. And they have to wrap the body real tight, because once the fire starts going and burns off the rope and burns the clothing, arms fall out and legs fall out. And people are running over there in the hot fire trying to push things in and things like that. So it's great. A lot of wood. They use a lot of wood. Look at that. All right. There's wood constantly coming up, all right? Now, by the way, 60 to 70% of Hindus who live in the city do cremation, but they do it through the electric way, electric oven, all right, in the cities. So it's a much more efficient way of doing it. And then they bring the ashes in an urn up to the Ganges, all right? So only the poor people really do the wood. Yeah. And you know, there's some, I always wonder about this. I'm in a boat, and I know that people can see me, but I always wonder about people, okay, all right, who are tourists, who come right up, okay, to where the pier is, okay, and right up, okay, and are there. You have to be discreet, all right, because they tell you not to take pictures, but they say if you're going to take a picture, you know, no clicks or no, you know, things like that, just be far away from it. And there, okay, again, there's two more tourists that are coming by. I think the older people have a lot more respect. I'm sorry to say that, but a lot more respect for what they do. There it is. It takes about 3.5 to 4 hours for the full burning. Of course, okay, the body isn't totally burned because it's done by wood, so they're just taking a little bit of ashes, okay, and they're throwing the rest in the one, so to speak. Then I'm sure you did this, right? You took the flowers and the clay, okay, little pot with some flowers and put it out there, all right, and send it out as an offering. Have you? As the sun sets on the Ganges, one starts to drift towards this most interesting culture of life on the river Ganga. And thank you very much.